Gemma, Gems, Jimmy, what do you think of, like, a sexy death cult outfit?
Got something in mind?
Perfect. Hello, my fellow wilds hunters. I thank you in advance for taking some time out of, playing the game of the year to come see what I have to say today. And I think you'll like it, because what I have to say is, how would you like 10 more armor sets unlocked for you to work with? Both ones that look incredible for all your fashion needs, and some that actually have some really nice skill and slot layouts. Like all good Monster Hunter games, Wilds indeed has many secret unlockable sets that you can find in the later stages of the game, and in Wild's case, as soon as you get to high rank, you can grab all of these. And I should say, ordering wise, I will go over how to get these sets, i.e. finding the items that unlock them, before I actually show you the sets. So if you just want that first part and have the reveal of them yourself, you can do. Beginning then with how they are unlocked. In Wilds, it's all the same way, and that way is by getting hold of a unique item that is the anchor for the set and will make it appear on your smithy list. And those items are as follows, all rarity 6 and all but 1 acquired in the same way. We have Sinister Cloth. Now, no points for guessing what that might unlock. We have the Great Hornfly, and again, no points for guessing what that might unlock. We have Driricite Scraps, we have Scarred Scale, and we have Great Hibiscus. Then a different kind of category clumping grouping in the form of Dalthidon Wool, Azur's Tanned Leather, Suja Textiles, and lastly Silled Cotton. Then all on its own sum, we have the Commission Ticket. As soon as you get your first of each of these, you will unlock their associated set. So, getting them then, we'll start with the Commission Ticket as it is unique amongst the 10, so once you get to high rank, you will get visited by the supply ship. Now this is run by Santiago, and he will bring you goodies. Think Argosy from previous games. So me here talking to him, along with, I guess, me here talking to him, get your own hairstyle.
What did you say?
He will sell you 4 points various goodies. Now these goodies come across 3 different categories: medicinal, equipment materials, and misc. You want to have him set to misc. He, after enough time has passed, in the literal sense, you can rest in your tent to force more time to pass, will disappear, and then after even more time, he will return and offer you a fresh selection. One of the things he can offer you is this Commission Ticket. And if you don't want to wait for it to happen naturally, you can quite literally force the issue as Cotton did, repeatedly on loop, resting and resting and resting and resting until he finally got it offered by Santiago. So once it's there, you want to acquire it, and that will unlock, well, the commission set. But again, I won't go over them all just yet. Now for the other 9 that, as I say, all pretty much fall into the same kind of category, all acquired via the same methods. One of 2 methods specifically. So I am here in Kunafa, and in Kunafa, like in every single settlement, there is 2 NPCs of note that are relevant here. The first is the item trader, who will offer you various things for various things. We'll ignore him for now. The second is the material retrieval. This guy is essentially your farm in Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm sure you're aware of that by now. But one of the things he can bring you is the associated material for this locale that unlocks an armor set. So here we are in Windsong Village, Kunafa, and you'll notice then there are many little icons of unique NPCs. The two that we care about here are as follows. Material retrieval, these guys are essentially your farm of wilds. They'll go collect items like honey for you, bring it back so you have supplies of basic stuff, and then also the item traders. Now we'll leave the item traders for now and focus on the material retrieval. So, you can go up to each and any of them, and if you've not got them available yet, you need to do a side mission for them that will unlock their services. It'll also let you manage them via Nata in any actual home camp, so you don't have to come to each of the villages manually to do so. But in any case, as we find Murtabak here and give him a little chat, well, he will ask what we want him to search for us. Now, you can set to any of these, the stars just make it more likely he'll find lots of it, but a bonus item that can come back along with what you've requested is the item set unlocking item, and it will be the one associated to the locale the gatherer is tied to. So Murtabak here is Windsong Village, he is a Windward Plains guy, and the Windward Plains has the Sinister Cloth. And for a quick rundown then, yeah, Sinister Cloth from your Windward Plains, you've got your Great Hornfly from your Scarlet Forest, your Scraps from Zuz, the Oilwell Basin, your Scarred Scale from the Iceshard Cliffs, and lastly the Great Hibiscus from Wyvria. Those are the 5 tied to the item gatherers, tied to the villages in each locale that you will unlock from completing their side quests, and as I said, they will all be centrally managed by Nata, who gave this small child a fucking knife! So when you chat to him and you head to material retrieval, you can see that I have 12 out of 16 from 4 of them. Murtabak's already given me his stuff because we just went and manually talked to him. So if I go on Reicher and have a little look, sadly nothing of note here except special items. Special items are going to come up in a moment, but it is a nice example to see them. These are also very valuable that you can get back as a bonus. So here's some set unlocking items I got earlier. As you can see, it does very much happen, and it's very nice and easy to make that happen. Technically speaking, you don't really need to go past this. You could just set all of these guys gathering, keep repeatedly resting in your tent, passing the time, and just waiting till you get a little bit lucky and they bring back their set unlockers. However, do note that you will only get the Sinister Cloth, the Great Hornfly, the Scraps, the Scarred Scale, and the Hibiscus via them bringing you back items. So while you can just repeatedly sit in the tent, passing the time until that happens, you will never get to the final 4, which we'll talk about now. Your Dalphodon wool, your Zuz tanned leather, your Suja textiles, and your Silt cotton. Now, you can probably guess from context that these are tied to the 4 villages that they are all, well, named after, and they will unlock an armor set themed to that village. So how do we get hold of these? Well, this is where trading comes in. So back in Windsong Village, we now care about the item trader, who will trade special items for other items, as perhaps vaguely unhelpful as that is. You'll unlock all of these traders throughout the story, and into high rank there is quite a few. There is more than one per locale and village in some cases, and you'll do side missions for them and make them happen. Nata will also centrally handle them at your base camps, so you don't have to come to each village. However, I am here because, you know, it's nice to visit the locals sometimes. Like our good friend Kalama here, who is currently making baby stew? Don't do it! She then will offer me a random selection of trades. Now, these trades will change randomly as time passes, so once again, you can rest to refresh the list of available trades. And already, we can see here she is offering me Dalphodon wool. and that is in exchange for fine windward aloe, which, as you just saw, we got from our item gatherer person as they came back as a bonus with the honey I requested. So what I can simply do is go, yeah, I'll trade you some windward aloe for that Dalthadon wool. Fantastic, yes please. And now we have some, and the set associated with Dalthadon wool will unlock. That is fairly straightforward in how it works. You just pass time, you keep checking the trades, seeing what they're currently offering, wait till they're offering the item set unlocker, and then acquire it. However, that leaves out perhaps one key concern. How the hell do you get the items to trade if you're not lucky enough to be handed them by the gatherers? Well, now we need to talk about treasure. Though before we do that, back at Nata, centrally handling them, we have the item trade option. This will show you all the traders. So each of these guys you can unlock as an item trader. Side missions, high rank, story, so on and so forth. You will speak to them all, do what they want, and then they will appear here on Nata's list, or you can go talk to them all manually in each of the villages. So Kalama we just spoke to and got the Dalthadon wool, so if we check the others real quick, my sharp eye, oh, great! Hornfly, that is actually very convenient. He is also offering the locale-specific item that locale's item gatherer could bring you. So you can get them from trades too, but I would recommend you don't trade for these until you have gotten all of the ones that you can only get from trading, like the Dalthadon wool. So if we keep going down and having a look, oh, here we are. Azur's tanned leather for 10 ancient wyvern coins. These you've probably got some. They are randomly scattered around every locale. You can just find them on the ground, around the place, on walls. You pick them up with your slinger or manually, and you'll slowly collect them. There's not really much else to say here. So that's 2 out of the 4. Let's keep on going. Not being offered anything there. Oh, land leather again. That's really, really nice. And you'll notice that any trader can offer you any of these 4 items. It doesn't have to be from a trader associated with the village that the item itself is associated with. So if I wanted to re-roll all of these, I'd just go into the tent, real easy, next to Nata, and I would just rest. I would change literally any settings. It doesn't matter what you do. It completely resets and refreshes everything, and you'll have to do this a number of times so the trades completely re-roll. So, back to that lovely treasure word. So these items that are all labeled special items are treasure items, and you can find them across every single locale. There are a lot of them, as you can see, and they come in 3 distinct flavors. The first flavor is just rarity 4, common, easy to find ones that are just sort of right there. Then we have Rarity 5 that are more refined, higher quality versions of literally the Rarity 4 one. So, for example, here we have the Wyvern Scale Vase from the Cliffs, and then a rare find version is a Dragon Scale Vase, also from the Cliffs. So let's deal with these two. If you open up your maps on any locale, well, you will see this symbol. A question mark over a pouch, and it will be in a certain color. If you hover over it, well, you'll get a name of what it is, and it will say a place for gathering special items. So these are your sandpeppers. If we move over here, we can see the windward succulents. This is where you get your windward aloe. If we go over to the cliffs, we've got the blue one, which is your fulgurite crystal. That's all well and good, and so on and so forth as you look around the maps. And if we open up the icon filter specifically, well, now we have a much easier way of seeing what we're working with. And on the Windward Plains right now, we have a lot of potential treasure options. So each of these are your common Rarity 4 treasure gatherers. Now, very rarely will you be able to trade these for the item set unlockers. You will need something a little bit more, well, valuable, and that's the rare 5s. So any given one of these nodes on any map can be sparkling when you walk up to it. There is a chance that will happen. You can visually see little light sparkles in the air above the gathering node. That means you're going to get a rare 5 higher quality version of the item when you gather it. So in order to farm these, you literally just need to keep resetting the map, going up to each of these nodes, and hoping that it's sparkling for you, and then you can get a rarer version. Now, these rare 5 versions can often be traded for the various items that unlock the armor set. So always going out your way to grab them as you pass, having a little look to see what's near you, it's worthwhile to get a stock of them, because outside of the item set unlockers, there's a lot of good stuff on trade, and this stuff is requested a lot per map. Now, what's actually available per map, as you might expect, changes depending on the time of day and season, so you kinda need to experiment with that. Now, at this point, I must stress something. There isn't a specific defined special item tied to each of the 4 villages' fabric-y item to unlock their armor set. They might request something different each time. They might want wyvern coins. They might want a random rare 5 treasure one day and then a completely different one the next day for the same Dalthodon wool, as an example. So I can't be like, hey, you need specifically fulgurite crystal, which is here, and this will get you Dalthodon wool. Okay, next, you need this item, which is here, and that will get you Suja textiles. It's going to keep randomly changing. So what you need to do is just generally gather a nice variety pile of rare special items, and then roll the dice and hope that when the trade is offered, you have what they're asking for. Does that make sense? So all I can teach is getting hold of the special items. I can't really say which one in particular you should get for each set. The final category of items then are your rare 6s, and these are rare and take a bit of effort to get hold of. You're not just going to kind of bump into them unless you get lucky. So, for example, here, the Queen's Bloom pollen on the Scarlet Forest. We have the Nightflower pollen on the Windward Plains. You have something like the large golden scale vase from the Iceshard Cliffs, and so on. So these are gatherable from special, treasure nodes. They have unique animations when you grab them, and they appear in one of 2 ways. Either during very specific time of day and season combinations, if you know where to look, and to be clear, each of these will appear on the map as its own icon too. You don't have to guess if it's there. If it's not on your map, then it's not there. So that at least is helpful. But as an easy example then, we have the Wilk Pebble here. The Wilk Gem is the rarer version of it, but the rare 6 version, well, let's head out the tent. If we go back to our Windward Plain map, filter by our treasure, we can see that there is Wilky Gemstones here, and these are your basic Wilk special item gather node. They can give you the rare 4 and the rare 5 version. Except this, the Wilky Crystal Outcrop, is different. This is the special one that will give you the rare 6. And you'll know it's that because it will have a unique name, it will have a slightly different colour, and it will say a place for gathering rare special items. So if we head down there then, and there's an easy way to just get to them, mark them on your map, and your seikret will just auto-path you to them, which is nice and comfortably easy. We will arrive at the unique special node that will give a unique gathering animation, and this is the Wilky Crystal Outcrop. So we will hack away at it, get a nice little lump, put it somewhere, I'd rather not think about it, and now we have acquired the rare 6 version of this particular category of special item, your Wilky Gem, and so on and so forth. So while a lot of these can be tied to time of day and season, a lot of them will just happen on timers, so you do want to just keep checking your map and seeing if you have any of them around the place. I've been gathering them furiously, and it's a really satisfying little system. The last way to know if you're going to get a rare 6 treasure to trade is by checking your forecasts on each map. As you know, you can look down the list and see what's about to happen at any given point, and one of the things that can happen is an outbreak upsurge of a particular type of treasure. When this happens, you will get 1 lot of that rare 6 special item per upsurge. It will be on your forecast, as I said, it'll pop up on the side saying it's happened, and each one will appear on your map, and you can track them, run to them, gather them as normal. So that's something to always keep in mind, and always keep checking, and just browse each map every time you rest to make sure there's not any treasure events happening that you can go acquire. So that's how you get all of your various Rare 4, Rare 5, Rare 6 special items in order to trade. But as I said, what each person wants for each given trade changes each time the trade list changes. So if we go back to Kalama now, that previously wanted the windward aloe for the Dalthodon wool, well, she now wants a thundering fulgurite for it instead, which is the rare form of fulgurite on the windward plains. So you just kind of got to gather all of your special items and then keep checking and hope that you are being offered what you want for what you have. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. So with that all said then, let's actually look at the armor sets themselves. We begin then with the commission set, which is very, very nice to see here, and as you might expect, that's the unlock from the commission ticket from the tradesman. And it's okay. Agitator's not the worst, but there are much more valuable offensive skills on armor that we want to cram. The slottage isn't the best, and basically outside of using it in early high rank, where you can unlock it quite quickly, it's not got a lot going for it, but again, fashion is, let's be honest, the primary motivator here. Then we head over to Kunafa. This, as you might expect, is your classic look of the Windsong Village. It's the unlock from Dalthodon Wool, and I don't mind all of the Palico rally. Palicos are very strong in wilds, and there's certainly some meme potential here, but again, fashion primarily. The same with Azuz, your oilwell basin armor set from the Azuz tanned leather, and the best thing about these is if you want to go mining, I guess you put on the legs and have a good time. Then we go over to Suja, which is just a little sword belt like so. 3 Divine Blessing, 2 and a 1/1. Yeah, there is certainly some potential there if you're slow playing through a high rank, but again, fashion, right? After that, we have Sild, which is your unlock through Sild Cotton, and Botanist if you really love gathering plants. Otherwise, once again, kind of not the greatest set in the world. But then we do get to Death Stench. This is from your Sinister Cloth, and it's your classic Death Stench, at least the male look is. It's got some okayish skills, though It's got some okayish skills, though Udra is a much better resentment set, and chiefly, well, this lovely take on the female version is why I feel like it's going to be one of the most popular armor sets in the game. If I had to call it, I know it's a very, very brave call there, but I think that might just be it. Then we have your butterfly armor set. This is from your great hornfly, and this one's actually quite interesting. Full window extender, constitution, recovery up, recovery speed, bonus 2. It is quite the please I don't want to get hurt by anything set, which is certainly amusing. And there could be situations where a single piece of this might slot in to a comfortable build for a few weapons, but again, you know, fashion, and it is obviously a Monster Hunter classic that's always good to be in, as is your King Beetle, which is also from the Hornfly, so you actually get a double for this, which is quite nice, and it has different skills. It's not just a reskin, and this is another source of flair, which actually is nice to have perhaps earlier on, as it's a very, very good skill, but other than that, once again, fashion is going to be your main driving factor. Then, from your scraps, you're going to unlock the high metal set. This is hilarious to me. The full resistances to everything on top of Bombardier. I could totally see some like Cotton Mean build coming out of this, and more importantly, at least the female version, actually the chest piece is quite nice in a lot of fashion sets, and actually Cotton himself does use it. Once again, the actual slots available isn't the best, but hey, it's a thing that is here. Then we have the battle set, and this looks fabulous. It really does. It's a nice little nod to actually have it here, and it's the scarred scale that makes it happen for you. A little bit of stamina surge for 2 and a 2 slot actually come in handy. Stamina surge is a very good skill, and it does need a 2 slot to have it go in, but again, it's not really too competitive with a lot of the other sets, but it's certainly more so, or at least has higher potential, the female version looking quite good as well. Then we get to the Melahoa, which is from your great hibiscus, and this is your classic flower armor, and it comes with just all the recovery, the natural stuff, the mushroom answer. All of these I find are very fun thematic sets, and sometimes that's honestly enough. The game isn't really difficult enough to need a full proper min-max, so sometimes you might just want to be like, fuck it, let's just be a flower healer for the day, and that's got you covered. So there you have it. That's all of your sets from these bonus rare items that unlock them and how to exactly go about doing that. I hope you have found this useful. I hope you have found it, well, perhaps even, dare I say, fun. And until next time, like if you have enjoyed it, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.